What's going on? It's your boy Javon, and you are now listening to the JVaughnology Podcast. What's up? Welcome back. This is episode 2. We have made it to the second episode, because most people don't make it past the first. So we are gonna clap for every time we make it past or we make an episode. So claps. Hope everybody's doing good. I know a lot's going on right now. Gas prices are crazy. We don't know if we're gonna go into World War III. But I'm happy that you took time out of your day to just listen to a lot of stuff that I want to talk about. So let's get into it. Today's episode is gonna be about control. Now, this is control Janet Jackson style. Like if I know you know the song. If you don't know the song, I need you to stop the podcast. Better yet, no, don't stop the podcast. I want you to write down control and then be like, it's by Janet Jackson. I want you to listen to the song and then you'll be able to understand what I'm really gonna be talking about this episode. So, control. It's an amazing thing. I love it. I'm very controlling. I'm a control freak because I am a Virgo, or just in general, I am controlling due to actual childhood trauma. Growing up and not being able to control your living situations, them being bad or good, it really makes you be a complete control freak when you are an adult, especially if you didn't have really that much opinion growing up. It really adjusts your mind to be like, oh, well, y'all didn't want to listen to me when I was younger, so bitch, when I get old, I'm about to be controlling everything that I can. Now, does that work all the time? No, because try to do it in relationships did not work. But honestly, control is something that it's just always has been very much of a struggle for me. Um, Starting from a young age, I think mostly the control issue I had was I was in bad situations growing up that I wished I could change or have some type of control to get out of and get the people around me out of it, but I couldn't. So that's probably stems from a lot of trauma there. Now, when it comes to like growing up and going to school. So I am gay. I really didn't know what gay was until I turned like 14, 15. I just know that when I was younger, there was things that I couldn't control, like me being more comfortable around women. That was more my thing. Me being feminine, that was something I couldn't control as well. And I tried to take control of that when I went into high school. And then that's when shit started getting real crazy. So at one point, I remember when I was in high school, not in high school, actually, it was middle school? Yeah, middle school. So I decided, like, well, you're feminine. You don't know why, you just are. You can't get it together. Everybody keeps calling you gay, but you don't know because you don't like men. Like, I mean, you don't think you like men. You think they're cute. You think girls are cute too. So, I mean, what are you? Like, how do you define it? You don't know. So this is when like the control started getting into play. Like I would try to control every situation. I mean, I couldn't control being called gay. That just it was what it was and it is what it is. But I did try to like change myself as much as I could to be more masculine. Like I was like, um I think I tried to deepen my voice. Like when I talk to people, like I would just be like, I can't even do it because it just sounds so stupid. But I just remember like I tried to force myself to be friends with a lot more guys than was girls. Like, and if felt like I was being too like cool with a lot of girls, like I would be like, okay, I gotta switch it up and like start talking to more guys. Like I would try to force myself into conversations with them to like talk about like sports and shit I genuinely didn't talk about. And I would just be like, listen, like we gotta figure something out. We gotta figure something out. I think sixth grade, I was like, whatever, because I had friends that were guys growing up. Like I used to hang out with all the time. Jerron and Cody, they were always there for me, so I would be able to, filter it and talk to guys. Like we like talk about a whole bunch of stuff, and it was cool and da da da. But then it started shifting more when I started living back with my mom, because again, at that time when I was with Jerron and Cody, it was very much like sixth grade. I was with my aunt. So when I went back to live with my mom, it was like, okay, Living back with my mom, of course, like I pick up traits that she has, like a little bit more sassier, just feminine. That's just what it is. Usually, I was raised around mostly women, so of course I will have more of a feminine side of me to anything. But I knew one thing that I was mainly in control of that I would never relinquish was my emotions. So when it comes to, if you knew me previous before, like, um, I don't even think, I mean, there's a lot of people who are going to listen to this podcast that didn't know me from probably like 10th grade back and back. So from 7th to 9th grade, I tried to relinquish all emotions. I didn't want to have them. I didn't agree with them because I felt like emotions didn't do shit for you. I felt like emotions would just, they were a sign of weakness, which a lot of men are trained to know, like trained to get, is that, showing emotion make you weak, which is not true at all, not a bit. But being raised by women who are trying to make that semi upset being called gay and stuff like that, they're trying to like figure out what could be the things. And for me, honestly, they may have not said it, but for me, it felt like maybe if you relinquish your emotions, that would change like everything. Like if you are like stale when you talk, or you don't get that hype about stuff, like you'll be like just super calm. That means that people will like look over you and be like, oh, he's definitely straight, which does not work at all because it's all about your mannerisms and all that stuff. And especially when you sit down, you cross the legs on accident. I mean, it just happens. But as in for control of emotions, that was the main thing that I know I could control. So that's one thing that I stuck with. So growing up from 7th to 9th, I was a bitch completely. I felt like that would be the only way that people wouldn't have to worry about me, or people can't say like, "Oh, this he's gay or he's straight," because you can't see my emotions, so you can't tell. And then also when I tried to control them, it just it was weird. Like it was like you're a whole different person when you're at school than you are at home. So then it started fucking with my mind. So then I started getting depressed because I was just like, well, I can't really be myself because I'm suppressing everything, and I gotta control how I act because I don't want people to think that I'm gay because I don't even know if I'm gay or not. So then when I hit about 10th to 12th, that's when I had like, I mean, 10th grade is when I had like I kind of figured out what gay was and if I was and if I was not. And I figured out I am. So I was just like, okay, cool, work. But by that time, I have already suppressed my emotions so much that I was mostly stale, like a lot. I feel like the only people who really, really, really knew me were my best friends, and they were the only ones who got emotions from me. But everybody else, I was just like stone cold hard body. And it took a minute to get over that and come back out of my shell. Because I know that if I didn't control my emotions, I would just be flamboyant. And that was a big no. But I did get out of that. We grew out of that. And that would be the first time I can think of when control was put into place for me. So like Janet Jackson, she says on her song about that she has her own mind and she doesn't want to be controlled by anybody or anything. So that's the only thing that I could really think of that could be related to the song. Now, when it comes to control with relationships, so again, I'm a complete control freak, um, and I decided to relinquish that title about a year ago because you can't control nobody's life. You just can't. You can help them as much as you want to. You can tell them things as much as you want to, but at the end of the day, they're gonna do what they want to do. And that was a lot of issues for me because a lot of the guys that I dated, they didn't know what the fuck they were doing. They didn't know like how to survive by them damn selves. So I felt like I had to be the one that's in control 24/7, 7 days a week, because that's the only way we're gonna survive. Like a lot of my exes, they weren't the brightest bulbs in the box. They were cute. I'm not gonna lie and say they weren't, but they weren't the brightest. And I mean, everybody has a type, and I guess that was my type. They're a little bit of airheads. They were. So I felt like I had to make sure that I was in control of everything. Like I had to make sure I was in control of the bills. I had to make sure that I was in control of practically the whole relationship. Like I made them work off of my time. And I know that's fucked up, but that's kind of how it had to be because I didn't want to have to deal with them. Other than breaking up with them, which didn't make it's like when you reflect back, bitch, like you could have just broke up with them. Like you didn't have to deal with the shit. But I was also trying to be nice because I'm a super nice person. And I was like, I really do like them. It's just that they don't have their shit together. So if I control the situation, I can make me more happy in a relationship. um, which did not work at all. Don't try to go in a relationship trying to control the other person because it's just not gonna work. Like I think my last ex, he was very much the same mindset as me, and he was controlling. So when we both tried to be like, somebody had to be submissive one. Like somebody had to be the one who was not controlling, and two controlling people is just not gonna work for the most part. Like he also let a lot of his trauma control a lot of stuff in his life, and that was something that I gave up. Like I gave up the whole making my trauma control everything for me around like high school, and I was just like YOLO it. Like it is what it is. Like you are who you are, and you just have to love it, endure it, and keep it pushing. But with him, since he was through so much shit all the time, like he knew he couldn't really control. And then when he felt like like was losing control, he would lash out, and then that was a big issue for us. It was not physical. Let's just say that I didn't have any physical issues. Domestic violence is real in these streets, especially in a gay relationship. I never had to deal with any of that. So I don't want anybody to paint the picture thinking that's what happened, but it did not. It was just that he would lash out because of him not being able to control my social medias and who I talk to, and just not that girl. Now with me in relationship, the only thing that mainly I would be wanting to, well, the only thing I was mainly in control in was transportation and money. I think those were the main things that I was always in control of because I was the only one who usually had a car, and I was the one who usually had a consistent job. So your boy was in control of all that those two things, and I made sure that I kept that control as much as possible because if I let go of the reins, I know they couldn't be able to handle it. Which is again a horrible way to be in a relationship. Anybody who is in a relationship like that, where you feel like you have to be in control of stuff and you can't work with the person, like work with your partner to figure out like what y'all can do to make life easier. Because at the end of the day, the person who's in control is under the most stress. Like you don't know how much stress you are putting on that person, and that can affect your relationship. Like, of course, it was fun at first, but now it's just like, bitch, am I taking care of a child? Like, what are we doing here? Those are the main things with me when it does come to control, and that is the build up for me right now, which makes me control freak. Uh, when it comes to jobs and when it comes to my life, or just my life in general, involving job, friends, and everything like that, I am very much a control freak still. Now, has the reins been loose? Yes. When it comes to my job, though, it's kind of like, ugh, because I'm in a situation right now where I don't like my job, and I want to be in a job that's in the field that I do like, which I want to go back into like healthcare and stuff like that. So I'm in the middle of trying to get that together. And it kind of drives me up a wall when things don't go the way I want them to, because honestly, by now I really want to be like I want to be back in Florida for sure. That was like the main thing, but I can't control what all happens. I feel like God put us in a situation for certain reasons, and once I lose that mindset, like the control freak in me goes crazy, and my emotions just go haywire. Like I feel like I'm just like trapped, and being trapped is like the worst thing on earth because it's like you feel like you have no control of everything that you do, and it's just like you're stuck, and I don't like to be stuck because of trauma. So like when I want to go, I want to go. When I want to control the situation, I want to control it. I'm gonna control it, or else I'm gonna lose my shit. Um, so everything is getting better. For one thing that I can say, from on this date, which is March the 13th of 2022, things are getting better and they're looking in a better direction. But it's also because I just relinquished control, to be completely honest. I was watching a interview with Lauren London, and she was speaking on. I'll put it on my Instagram for sure, so that people can see it. But for the main thing that she was saying, I'm not taking the exact words from what she said because y'all know I can't remember all that. But for the main thing she was saying is once you relinquish control to God, like it just was better. Like it stopped all the fighting, it stopped all the pain, it stopped all the drama. She just finally understood, like, hey, I'm thinking that all this shit is gonna happen a certain way. It's not. It's getting worse because I'm trying to just keep it together and I'm trying to control all of everything and I just can't. So I'm gonna stop. And me watching that interview from her, I really got it. Like, it took me a few times though. The first time I watched it, I was just like, girl, this needs to go out to somebody else. I'm gonna send this to one of my friends. But then the second time I watched it, I was just like, okay, whatever. Like, it's it must be like a selected thing. Because us control freak, we be like, well, selected things, like here and there, like maybe I just need to understand I don't have to work out all the time, or maybe like I can't even think of something stupid to say. But for the most part, it was like I don't take it that serious because it's like I gotta be controlled some kind of way. So one day, I think it was like honestly, probably like a week ago, I just was like having a mental breakdown. I just could not do it anymore. I did not want to work at this place anymore. Did not want to live in the same situation that I was right now. Like I was just like, I don't get it. I can't do this shit. I'm about to have a fucking breakdown. So I told my best friend about it, and then they sent me a video, the same video of Lauren London saying the same goddamn thing. Like, listen, you cannot control the situation, so you need to just relax. And then once you relinquish your control, everything will get better. Because God has a plan for everybody, and you're just gonna have to rock with it. You're gonna have to lean with it. You're gonna have to roll with it. Because if you don't, you're gonna go crazy. So I was like, oh, shit. So what I did was I sat on the ground, I looked up, and I was like, all right, God, you got it. You win. I am not going to force it anymore. I'm going to just follow the path. Like, I kept trying to look for jobs in Florida because I wanted to move to Florida so bad. Like, I just really want to go back there because I feel like that's my safe haven. That's my safe space. I grew up there as an adult. So, like, as friendships and things to do. And it's just like, it's my vibe there. And I really, really want to go back. And it's pissing me. It didn't piss me. I feel better. But before, it like pissed me off because I'm like, why am I stuck here? Why can't I get a job that is in the same field that I want to do down there? Or why can't I find some type of job that can make me like can make it I stay up here for a little bit and work and then I can just transfer down there. Like, why is this so hard? Why is it so difficult? Why? So then I was just like, you know what? We're gonna do. We're gonna take this L and we're gonna understand that you cannot control this situation. You just can't. Because the more you try to control it, the more stressed out you get. The main thing is with me is I'm also an overthinker. So I'm thinking, oh shit, I'm being punished from God. God is punishing me right now. Like a lot of stuff wasn't making sense because it's just my initial reaction to be so crazy when I lose control, again, due to childhood trauma. So I'm just like, son, it has like this is God saying that he hates me. Like literally, I went down that bridge. Like Lord knows I shouldn't be going on these crazy bridges, but since again I'm an overthinker, which I am working on, um, it's me. I am the problem. I am the situation. God is punishing me. Like I don't know how I got from oh things happen in life to God is punishing me, but girl, it jumped. It jumped real bad. Um, I started applying to jobs in the city of Atlanta. So I was like, listen, God, like if I get this job, I understand I need to stay here. I don't know why. I don't know who made this decision. I don't know why you can't let me do what I want to do, but I'll shut up if you give me this job then. Because this job is going to be a sign that I need to just calm my ass down and just stay here. Why I need to stay here, I don't know. But for a person who wants to be in control of the situation and just want to fucking leave, I was just like, I'm driving myself crazy. This decision has to be made. So again, I talked to God. I was like, hey, bro, like, this is what we're going to do. And yes, I do talk to God like that. I talk to him just like that. I was like, hey, bro, this is what we're going to do. I'm apply to this job. There's one job that is in the field that I want to do. And if I get an interview, I'm going to relinquish all control. But I got to get an interview. So, I'm trying to finesse my way through it. So I'm like, I got to get an interview, though. I didn't give him a time limit. I didn't say, like, it needs to happen, like, immediately. Or anything like that. So I was like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna apply. So I text my friends. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna apply to this situation in Atlanta. And I mean, if I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. Whatever. So I apply, right? Tell me why the next morning I get an email from the job scheduling an interview. When I tell you, I was like, you one sly dog, you are, Jesus and the crew. You are one sly dog. Because after that, I was like, you know what? Because I don't break my promises. If I say I'm gonna do something, because I'm very big on promises, I'm big on my word. So if I say like, okay, you do this for me, and I do this for you, type of situation, then I do it. So he did it for me, so I doing it for him. So what the deal was, as if you didn't figure it out, my deal was if I get this job or if I get any type of way into this job, I'm gonna let you just handle control of the situation. I'm gonna stop being a control freak and try to control the situation. So again, he did what he did. Now I'm doing what I'm doing, and I'm not controlling the situation no more. I'm just letting it go, and I get back to Florida when I get to Florida. Okay. Again, I don't understand what my life is and what, like, it just really sucks because it's like you want to control certain things, but you just can't. And I felt like that was one thing that I felt like I controlled, but I couldn't. Apparently, I'm meant to be here for a reason, so shit, I'm just gonna have to hang and enjoy it as long as I can, and then we'll keep trying to like make my way back to Florida. So, another thing that I was trying to control is my sexuality. Younger children who are watching, or younger crowd that's watching this, because I'm pretty sure there's not younger children, or even some people who still are like trying to control their urges of sexuality to not be seen as somebody or not to be seen as gay, or maybe you're trying to control yourself not to transition over because you want to stay a guy, but you really feel like the inside you're a woman, and you feel like you can control your urges of not wanting to be a woman. um Relinquish that, let it go. Because what I was trying to do when I was younger was I was trying to like mask up so many things, because I have been called gay as long as I can remember. I have, and it bothers me. It bothered me so bad, to the point that I was just like, I really gonna have to control my homosexuality. As in, I can't think guys are cute. I have to think girls are cute. You know? Like, I can't think that this person is attractive. I have to think that they're attractive. I can't talk with my hands. Um I can't like cover my mouth when I laugh. I can't gently put my hands down on my lap. Like, it's literally like little things like that that you don't even notice. That, I mean, well, I do notice that other guys didn't do. I would try to control myself from doing that. So then it became this big push and pull situation that happened when I was in high school, and it was around like it was like 14 to 16. It was a horrible time for me, like mentally. I became super depressed because I really just genuinely did not know. Like, I would wear clothes that I did not even like baggy clothes. I've never been a baggy clothes girl. I just never have been. Like, I like to wear my pants up. Like, I don't like really big shoes. Like, I don't want to look like Soldier Boy. It's kind of like more Kanye West, but more feminine. And not saying that Kanye West dresses like he's gay. And maybe back then people would always expect that because of how he dressed. Like him and Pharrell, they always wear like clothes that fit, but they were like kind of baggy type of look. So when the jerk time came around, like, is it was the jerk season, or it's not a jerk season? I'm over here saying it's a season. When like the jerk era started, they would wear like the color skinny jeans and the tight shirts and all this other stuff. Like practically, I guess the white boy style is what they used to call it, but then it was skater style. So I used to love the skater style, but at that time that was seen as gay. So I usually hung around all type of skaters growing up. I had friends that lived in Kansas City that were skaters, so that was like more my style. But when I was wearing kind of clothes like that, I felt like I was coming off as gay, which is it's like looking back at that shit, it sounds so stupid. But when you're younger, your brain is not working like how everything was working. So what I would try to do is control like how I dress. So I would wear like baggy clothes and um I used to look a fucking mess. Like from 14 to 16, I looked a mess. I think once I got into my sophomore year and I like really started agreeing with like, yo, you're gay. Like, and that's okay. And you like men. Like, and that's just is what it is. And once I got into that groove of thing, and then I also like was seeing that the skinny jeans were in style, I was like, okay, bitch, like this is my type of vibe, son. Like this is what I like to wear. I'm going to wear my skinny jeans and I'm gonna wear like my baggy shirts, and this is literally gonna be my style, and it's okay. And I don't feel like I'm gay because everybody else is wearing this shit. So it all worked out for me, which is so great. I think that came at an amazing time for me. That actually helped me be like, okay, so fashion is okay. Like even I used to think people like guys who like fashion, they were just immediately gay because in social media, I mean, that's just how they were seen. Guys who like any type of fashion other than like baggy clothes or Soldier Boy style or like Jay-Z baggy jeans type of style, they just assumed you were gay. Like so me actually being gay, I was just like, oh, I can't wear what they wear because then I really know I'm gay. But then like I said, I was trying to suppress and control who I was. And then at that time, but for all of this is I'm saying that the best thing to do and what I learned is that it's just that you can't control everything. Like everything happens for a reason, and you just have to understand that to be able to progress better with your life. Once you let go and let God, I honestly will tell you everything will fall into place. And what it looks like is I did that and everything is starting to fall into place. I'm not overthinking. My anxiety is not out of the roof. And but honestly, if you feel like it's best for you to stay in control because it matches your lifestyle that you're with, go ahead, thrive. I'm not knocking people who are doing it. And if you feel like that's the best for you, I say do what's best for you. But I do hope that this helped out anybody who is struggling with control and trying to balance everything out because, again, me not being in control did kind of like mess with my mind a lot. So having somebody else who's like on the same page that kind of agrees with you, like I'm here in case you need it. Now, since we're wrapping up this podcast, I do want to start a new segment on my podcast, which is when I'm speaking about music that I'm currently listening, not currently, what I'm currently listening to, which is the Candy Drip by Lucky Day. I just recently started listening to him. I don't know how long he's been out, but it's really good. My three favorite songs on there is going to be Over, Sound, and Compassion. So I'll put those up there on the Instagram as well. What it looks like is I'm gonna have to make an Instagram for the JVaughnology podcast. I am gonna name it the JVaughnology Pod. So if you guys want to check that out, it should be up by now. And then also we'll have a clip of the interview with Lauren London that I was speaking about earlier in the podcast, as well as is gonna have like little pictures of Lucky Day's album, as well as I've been listening to a lot of the Cool Kids. They recently just came out with an album. If you don't know who the Cool Kids is, I mean, they're dope. They're some dope ass rappers. They have it. My two favorite songs on their new CD that just came out. Uh, my two favorite songs that just came out on their new album, which is Before Got Weird, is going to be I'm Coming Over There and Trophy Part 2. So I do want to thank you guys so much for listening to this podcast. I will see you guys next. Well, I'm not see, but you guys will hear from me next Thursday. And everybody stay blessed, stay beautiful, and yeah, peace out, shawty.